Hello everyone and welcome to this week's energy update. Very excited to share what's channeled for us this week and what's coming through for us in the energetics. So we have this amazing week where we're really kind of learning to let go of any of the darkness or any of the heaviness that a lot of us have been retaining or dragging forward from our pasts. And we're learning to shift our perspectives of the things that have happened to us to more of this empowered mindset of how the things in the past have transpired to in fact be for us and for our journey forward to create this amazing future that we're all trying to manifest. So a lot of times in the thick of Mercury retrograde, which we are still in, we're going to have these moments of revisitation, and this is exactly what we're being called to do this week, but to also bear witness to those warning signs of when enough is enough and we need to take active action. So let's dive into a channel. So we have reimagining mistakes, rehearsal of what has gone wrong. Instead of looking ahead, you have created a new future now. Stop condemning the present or the past. Everything has happened as it was supposed to. You regret for nothing. Stand true in who you are. Nothing can stop you now, even your past. Let it go with peace, with gratitude, for you are reborn. Feel it. Be it. What would your higher self do in this current situation? Close doors to what no longer serves you. Close doors to the past. Make your peace. Bury the hatchet. We're all doing the best we can with the information available. Forgive yourself and balance the scales, and things will go right for you once more. So wipe the tears. Rejection is protection. You're not going that way. You're reaching for the sun, not the darkness. Okay, let's pause there. So much good stuff to go into here. So let's start off with this big shadow. Let's start off there because once more, I'm kind of feeling a lot of us have this fog or shadow that's kind of descended over us. And that's what they're kind of showing me is this big shadow that's just hanging out over the collective, almost like this fog. And you're like, man, like, no matter where I go, there's the fog and there's the shadow, and I'm just feeling like the heaviness that's descending down on me. Maybe a lot of us are actually physically feeling this as well in the body. Maybe we're feeling energetically heavy. Maybe we're feeling like our shoulders are being, bared down. Maybe you're noticing some neck issues at this time. They're really kind of pointing this out to how this might actually be affecting your body and your energy body as well. So be very mindful this week of this shadow, this heaviness that you're feeling clinging to your shoulders. And for a lot of us, they're bringing out collectively that it is this shadow of our past. It is this energy that we're just like, we can't seem to shake. We can't seem to get rid of. And they're showing me someone fighting to get to the sun, being like, okay, let's part these clouds. Where's the sun, baby? I need it. I need the sun. And it's almost like we're getting really caught up in trying to find it. And the key word is trying. A lot of us are trying to shift through all the dark that we see. And they're kind of giving me this awareness this week that a lot of us are needing to stop trying to do this and start doing it, just actively embodying it. And how we can do that is by realizing the truth of our situation, which is the past is over. The past is done. And it is only you who is clinging to these clouds, thinking they have to fight through it, just like they always have, to get to the sun, to get to the good stuff. Instead of acknowledging that within a simple decision of my past is over, my future is here, I can change the present. And as soon as we come to that acknowledgement of our power, the clouds descend. The fog lifts. And we see the sun has actually been there all along. And we didn't have to fight for it. We just had to choose to see things a different way. So they're really showing us the power of our belief systems this week and the power that the past has held over us. So be very mindful this week. Where am I hanging on to those clouds? Where am I trying to fight my way to the good stuff when the good stuff is already here? It's just this blinder we have on of our ego that says, oh no, we're not there yet. Oh no, you don't have any blessings. Oh no, you're still in your past. You're still doing the same repeat cycle. This is where we have to check ourselves and go, are we? Right? So last week we had this amazing analogy of Odin and how he gave his eye in exchange for enlightenment. And that was very symbolic of giving up the ego, the 3D mindset, to see beyond the veil, to see the truth. And last week we had this question posed, are you ready to see your future? Are you ready to see it? Because if you are, then you have to sacrifice your current mindset. You have to be willing to let go of that 3D view so you can see the truth, which is you are already abundant. You are already in this beautiful present moment where blessings abound. You are already putting your past behind you. It is done. So this is where the truth needs to land. So this week we might get caught up in that shadow. We might be fighting it. We might be wanting to wrestle with it and be like, and frustrated. They're showing me this push and pull, like, this contention, this simmering anger. But they're like, there's nothing really to be angry about. You're just angry about things that happened. But they're behind you. They're not right now. And they're not going to be in your future as long as you don't keep holding on to them and repeating that vibration. So they're kind of giving us this head shake this week to be like, okay guys, look. This is the truth. It's up to you if you want to see it. But this is the truth. And you need to open your eyes. So I love how they actually put it this week, which was stop condemning the present, right? And condemning your past. And it's true because we can actually villainize our lives in many ways. We can villainize our pasts. We can villainize the present and go, oh, it's not right. It's not serving me. It's toxic. There's this, there's that is not going well for me. And that might be true. And absolutely, you have every right to be upset and feel how you feel. Please don't bypass any of your emotions this week. But they're kind of showing me someone who's just had enough. And they're like, I'm just done. I'm done wallowing. I'm done being sad. I'm done holding on to all of this toxic stuff. Like, I'm just ready for the sun. Like, they're just showing me someone getting very frustrated because the shadow just keeps on clinging on. So how do we lift the shadow? So one was obviously this change in mindset, this change in perspective, but also seeing things in a new way. So sometimes we've had it. I feel like all of us have had the experience that, we go to a trusted friend, we confide in them about what has happened to us, and they give us this new insight we never had. And they go, hey, did you ever think that maybe this happened because of this, this, and this? Or, hey, did you ever think of this perspective? And we get challenged and we go, oh, wow, okay, like I never thought of it that way. And that's what they want us to do this week, is start questioning everything. So if there's something that's really bothering you, if there's something simmering beneath the skin, and that anger is going to dissolve to hurt, okay? And that's what they're showing me. It's like the hurt of not getting what you needed, not getting what you wanted, not being able to have the life you always dreamed. And almost this like energy of like, why wasn't I enough to receive what I needed? There's going to be lots of themes of unworthiness that are going to really rise and have been rising. So be very mindful of where the anger and the frustration is truly stemming from, and bring illuminations to new ways of looking at this. So sometimes, and they're giving me this example of us taking something very personally and being very hurt by, say, something that someone did or something that someone said. And then when we actually finally talk to them and we clear it up, we find that perhaps what we thought happened actually wasn't what happened. So this week we're clearing a lot of karma and we're clearing a lot of this contention. So if you're like, I assumed and I took these things personally, and then you have this conversation and the person's like, oh, I didn't think that at all, or I didn't mean it that way. And it's like you get this illumination, this light comes in and it just clears all of this angst. And you realized, wow, I actually was hurt for all this time, truly because I took it this way. And I had this perspective and I kept feeding that story and my wounding, as opposed to thinking there could have been an alternate perception here. There could have been something else that factored in here. So they're kind of showing me someone who's been so focused on their past and the wounding and taking all of this personally and taking it so to heart, we've been hurting and damaging ourselves. So this week we're going to get a lot of this illumination energy that's going to come in, that's going to help us part the clouds, help us see things differently. And they're saying you have to be willing. Because once again, they're showing me someone holding on to those clouds and that darkness because it's all we know. Okay? And we want to validate that we're right, or we want to validate the hurt that we've had. But if you want to heal, if you truly want to let go and you're getting frustrated, why can't I let this go? Why can't I move on? Check in and go, am I really willing to let it go? Am I really willing to be happy? Am I really willing to do what is necessary to clear what hurts me? Okay, now some of you are going to have conversations you don't want to have. So they're kind of mentioning this like this big elephant in the room that you've not wanted to address, but it's there. And it's the elephant, it's so big, but you're just like, no. I'm going to avoid that conversation. It makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather stew in my pain. I'd rather not have the conflict. And they're like, oh my, let's do this. So your guys are going to be pushing you, and they're showing me things aligning so you can have these conversations, so you can have these enlightenment come in. Okay? Because as much as we don't want to address the pain, the elephant in the room, it's got to be unearthed so you can be set free. So they're really showing me that all of these things that might seemingly feel annoying, frustration, we might not want to address, it's all for your highest good. Okay? And we have to keep this perspective moving in this week. Okay? It's all for my highest good. Whatever is coming to clear, it's all helping me let go. And they're just saying, like, you've been asking for this. So we're going to give you the freedom you've been asking for. even if it doesn't come in the way you wanted it, because this is what you actually need. Okay, so be very open this week. Don't fall victim to your ego, and don't be too proud to admit where maybe you've been wrong, where you've maybe held a grudge unnecessarily, or where you have really been holding yourself back from really living a free life, a happy life. So we have to take a little bit of responsibility this week and go, okay, what am I really doing here? And being honest. So once again, it's like getting that analogy of Odin here. Are you willing to trade that human perspective to get the truth? To get true enlightenment, even if it's not as flattering as we might want. So what's really beautiful though is all of this positive energy that's really coming in, okay? So don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. And that's what's so cool is this really isn't going to be as hard as sometimes we think it's going to be. So don't build things up in your mind. Don't go, oh my God, this week is going to be so tough. It's going to be so hard. No, it's actually not the case at all. And that's what we're being illuminated to is actually the sun has always been there. You've just been making it harder for yourself. So where do you need to take that leadership, right? That leadership role and go, all right, we're going to part some of these clouds. I'm going to be willing to see what's already here. And that's what's so cool is we're starting to see that we really don't have any blockages. The only thing that's been blocking us, is our unwillingness to let go of the past, of our unwillingness of letting go of our pain, because we've let our pain define us so much. And they're actually wanting to draw attention to that as well. So be mindful too, if this resonates for you, where have you let your pain define your story instead of your love, right? So where does your love now need to define your story? Where does love now need to become your identity rather than your pain? And they're just showing me we need to validate these parts of us that are just aching for love, that are just aching for recognition. When we pour love into the wounding, what happens? It transforms. So ask yourself in full transparency, the wounding you have you put love there? Have you truly put love there? And where have you once more been denying love from your wounding? So this week, once again, we're going to have the veil removed to what we truly need to do. And once again, being very honest with ourselves and going, okay, maybe I thought I was healing, but maybe I was actually criticizing myself. This happens a lot. We can disguise our healing and we think we're doing the spiritual work. We're going in, we're fixing ourselves. Well, when we have that intent of fixing ourselves, we're immediately placing this condition on love because we're going, well, there's something broken. I'm broken. That's essentially what you're telling yourself right when you start trying to heal. So we can't heal through that. We can't heal through ridicule. We can't heal through judgment. We can only heal through love. So have you truly been lovingly healing yourself? Have you truly poured love unconditionally into the wounds? Not going in there to pick them apart, to fix, just to listen. Because that's what love does. It's patient. It's kind, right? So have you been patient? Have you been kind? Or have you been going to your wounds and going, you need to get rid of now. I'd love to get rid of you now. I'd love to change you now. But have you listened? Have you given these parts of yourself the respect and the compassion and the time so that they too can have a voice and be honored here? So this question comes up, and a lot of us might be feeling this. Why can't I just be happy? Have you ever felt that way? So this week that might come up. Why can't I just be happy? Why can't things just fall into place? So that's what we need to ask ourselves. Why have I made everything so hard? Why have I put a taint on my life? Because once again, you are the only one who is living your life. It's yours. Your life is your responsibility. So why have you made it unhappy? Why have you made it an unhappy place to be? So take the actions this week. What can I do to make the change? How can I be happy? And if you're not sure, exploring your options. What makes me happy now? What brings me joy? Where have I been holding back? Where have I not been allowing myself the possibility of a new life? Okay, because we've shifted, we've changed. And once again, when these questions come in, they're actually a very huge catalyst for our growth. So don't look at that question and then judge it, right? Don't judge yourself for feeling how you feel, but instead look at this as, oh, this is going to slingshot me forward light years ahead because I'm actually ready to look at this question. I'm actually here. I've arrived at this space where I can now go, okay, how do I want to live my life? And that's empowering. So don't make it disempowering. That's huge. Don't disempower yourself this week. So what can help us? Learning gratitude. Okay, this was really coming in. So I want to read what came through here. So stand true in who you are. Nothing can stop you now, even your past. Let it go with peace and with gratitude, for you are reborn. Feel it, be it. What would your higher self do in this situation? So I love this because, once again, how empowering are these statements? It's like, you can do it. There's nothing truly standing in your way. All you have to do is make the change, right? And it can be as simple as turning to gratitude. So if you're like, I don't know how to let my past go, well, just start being grateful for your life. Start there. Start making your life a life you want to be in, a life you want to participate in, a life you want to enjoy and savor, a life that your higher self is going to come back to and go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did this one. And at the end of your earthly incarnation going, wow, I'm so glad I did this one. So glad I did it. I'm so glad I made every moment the best moment ever, right? It's like this weight just starts dropping off because we don't realize it can be so simple. The moment we switch into gratitude, the moment our problems fade away, because everything, even our problems, are a blessing because you're here, you're alive, you're breathing. Everything becomes magical, a miracle. So how can you start becoming more grateful for yourself, grateful for your past, grateful for the lessons learned, and realizing, oh my God, I am reborn. I'm not that person anymore. I'm me. I'm me now, and I'm remembering who I am. I'm remembering my passions. I'm waking up to the power of my soul, of who I really am. Because I'm not just a human being. I'm a spiritual being as well. And this is where we need this reminder this week of like, hey, you're so much more than your experiences. So there's really no reason for you to regret because you lived your life the best you could. You've done everything you can, right? So this is where we now need to embody the higher self, embody gratitude, embody these higher vibrations. And this helps us close the door. So all these doors are closing this week. We're wrapping up cycles that have pestered us for far too long, that have hurt us for far too long. And we're learning to close that down and make peace, right? So imagine who you could be without all your hurt. Imagine who you would be without your past and the weight of that. Who would you be? Start embodying that person and realize it's done. Okay? So forgive yourself. Forgive others this week. And this is balancing the scales. This is helping balance and harmonization be restored in your life. So you're not going to be so angry. You're not going to be so hurt. You're not going to be carrying this weight on you and in your body anymore. Okay? And it's so cool because they're like, the minute you do this, all will go right for you. You'll be able to wipe your tears. And you realize that anything that did reject you was for a purpose. Rejection is protection. Okay? And I love how they put this because it was like any door that closed to you, it's for a reason. And I think this was mentioned last week as well. So you're not going that way. You're not meant to go that way. So if a door closed, it wasn't right. So how can you trust it? Okay? That little reminder is coming in again this week. So now, instead of looking at the closed door, we're turning our attention to the sun. We're going, oh my God, I've been looking at this door this whole time, but the sun's right there. The abundance is right there. Happiness is right there. I've been so focused on what wasn't opening for me that I didn't see what was. So we start reaching towards what is. Okay? So you're reaching for the sun, not the darkness. How beautiful is this? So this week we're going to have this amazing transformation, this amazing change in perspective where it's like, okay, I'm not going to look at what's lacking anymore. I'm going to look at what is already full, what is already abundant. So think of just that energy change just within that. It's amazing. So let's continue the reading here. So we have the rain has begun only to cleanse away your tears. All sadness. The past is now wiped clean. You're free to soar the skies. Stop believing you're trapped, and you won't be. Find your peace, not long suffering and doubt. Reconcile with your dreams. Let them come full circle. And remember that your purpose is joy. Gratitude is the way. It will bless the road to come. Do not come to spite or frustration. This places a taint on all you see. Instead, see blessings, see light, see love, and the rest will fade away. Okay, so let's pause here. How beautiful is this? So where we were seeing all this cloud, the rain starts to fall. So this is exactly where we're in. We're looking and we're going, oh my God, all I see is cloud. All I see is dark. But then the rain starts falling. And what happens when it rains? It rejuvenates everything. It cleanses away everything. It clears everything. This is the process we're in. We're in the dark, but then the rain comes and then the shine. And what's so beautiful is we know this is how it works. This is the process. It's guaranteed. We don't have to stay in darkness because we know the sun is going to come out again. It's guaranteed. So can we trust the process this week? Okay? So if you're down in the gloom and doom, that's okay. The rain's coming. It's going to clear it away. And that sun is going to shine. So don't give up. Don't wallow. It's going to be okay. And seek out the sources of comfort that are available to you while you're going through this time. Okay, we're all going through it, okay? It's not just you, it's me. It's everybody you know. All of us as a collective, we're going through a big purge. So how can we comfort each other? How can we feel less alone? Be there for each other. And that's what's so beautiful, is this process of rejuvenation is so cleansing. So it's only come to cleanse away your tears. All sadness, the pain is now wiped clean. I just find this so unbelievably beautiful. So unbelievably beautiful. And it just reminds me of that passage with Christ and being like, I've come to wipe away all your tears. And it's like, come to me, I will refresh you. That really sticks out to me. So this week, we're getting that experience where unconditional love is coming in. It's letting your tears fall. It's letting your pain be heard. And then it's like, let's wipe these tears away because it's over. It's done. You are loved. You are enough. Let's rejuvenate you now so you can go on your way and leave all of this behind. Like, how beautiful is that, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt in such an unconditional love and non-judgmental way? Okay, this is what we all need, and that's what this rain is. It's coming in to do this work for us. That's what this energy is offering you this week. So don't take it for granted. Give yourself these moments of stillness and give yourself this opportunity for the universe to step in and clear your tears and touch your heart and show the universe what's inside. If it's full of pain, that's okay. It can hold the space for your pain. Some of us feel like there's so much pain in our hearts that no one would be able to hold it. But the universe can. The universe can hold your pain. The universe is opening its arms to you and saying, just let it out. I can handle it. I can take this. So you don't have to carry it anymore. Let us take your pain and let us refresh you. So are you willing? Are you willing to let the universe take your pain? Let it out. Let it go. It doesn't have to hurt you anymore. It's time to let yourself be refreshed. And imagine that feeling, that freedom, okay? Because it's like you're free to soar the skies. And it's amazing because we felt like a trapped bird before. I can never love again because I was so hurt. I can never let people see me because when I was seen, I was so judged. Right? Like, imagine all of these stories that have held you back for so long, maybe your whole life. Imagine what it's going to feel like to not hold them anymore, to not believe them anymore, to be free of them completely. Like, doesn't that just bring such relief to your shoulders, to your body, to your heart? Like, can you imagine your life truly free? This is what the universe is offering you. And it's this week. It's not years from now. It's now. This is the freedom they're giving you. You don't have to relive your past. I promise. You just have to trust. You just have to let go. So stop believing you're trapped, and you won't be. Find your peace, not long suffering and doubt. I thought this was really interesting because how many of us reserve ourselves to long suffering, prolonged suffering. Is that what your life has become? Has your life become an arduous thing? Has your life become suffering every day just to make it to the weekend? What are you suffering through right now? It's time to bring peace to your suffering. It's time to bring peace to your doubts. Once more, imagine that energy, peace, love, coming in and just wiping all of that away. Because that's the power of love. It can wipe all of that away. Okay? Reconcile former dreams. Let them come full circle. And remember your purpose is joy. This was super cool because they were showing me that once we start healing, truly healing, and letting ourselves be truly healed by love, and letting go of the past, we reawaken to these dreams, these things that we wanted to do perhaps in our life and it just never came, or we put effort in and for some reason it's just not carrying forward. They're showing me this full circle moment happening this week, and perhaps we're bringing these ideas to light and we're like, hey, now that I'm like healed enough, maybe I can go back and look at that. Or hey, maybe I should start this up again. And they're kind of showing me with a more healed perspective. We're not like looking at that former failure as an example and viewing it as failure anymore. So we're like, oh, maybe I'll give it a try. And that's exciting. That's wonderful. But they're like, don't forget that your purpose isn't a thing. It's your joy. It's a feeling. It's an energy. It's a vibration that you emit. That's your purpose here, to raise the vibration on earth, to be unconditional love, to be joyful. So don't get hung up this week on, oh, I need to pursue this again, or I need to do this, or tie your purpose to a certain thing. Because they're kind of mentioning this might come up with this healing that happens. Just remember, whatever brings you joy, do it. Okay? Once again, it's like simplify things to that extent where it's like, well, if it brings me joy, then it's not a waste of my time, right? So once again, we might get very caught up in, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to repeat the past. So I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to do this. It's like, well, stop thinking of it so dark and gloomy that way. It's like, well, does it make you happy? Then do it. If it doesn't, then don't. There's no pressure. So don't get caught up in, am I making the right choice this week? Decide from your heart. Follow the flow. Follow your joy. And if worst case scenario comes up, what would your higher self do? And I love that because they really posed that at the beginning of this reading. What would your higher self do in your current situation? And it just clears that fog, right? Immediately, it's like, oh yeah, well, I would do what's loving for me. I would do what's really going to serve me. And when you feel into those energies, you feel immediately, right? And it's funny because once again, they're showing me this veil of confusion. If it brings confusion, it's not right. Okay? If you're like, oh, should I pursue this? And you're just like, I just don't know. Well, maybe there's a reason you don't know. Okay? Take a breath, stop and go, okay, what has happened when things are 100% right for me? I get a complete yes. Right? So if something's not 100% right for you and you're like, I don't know. Well, maybe it's not right for you. Or maybe it's just not right now. So give yourself the time you need and to once again come back to this space of peace. Don't pressure yourself. Don't sabotage your worth or your peace. Let things flow. And it's beautiful because they're kind of showing me this full circle happening where it's like we reconcile the dream. So it's like, okay, now I see that really wasn't right for me and I see why it didn't work out. Or, oh, okay, I learned from this situation. I see why it didn't work out and this is now what I'm going to do to change it. And they're showing me just like everything being wrapped up. So there's like no more loose ends. So they're also kind of showing me the dream space. So a lot of you might get a lot of dreams this week, and we need to be mindful of our dreams because we might be getting a lot of important messaging and downloads through the dreams. So just be mindful of what comes through as well. But all in all, what we're seeing here is gratitude. Gratitude is the way. It will bless the road to come. Do not come to spite or frustration. Okay, and this was what's so cool because once more that veil of confusion comes in, and what does that do? Oh man, it pisses us off, right? It's like, I just want to know. I want to know what the right thing is to do. You know, it can be very frustrating, but it's like, don't go into that, please. You're hurting yourself. You're placing a taint on your life. You're not allowing beauty to exist when you do that. So see the blessings, see the light, see love, and the rest will fade away. So beautiful. So from there, we're moving into a new energy, which is reconciling loneliness to find your own way. Maybe others won't understand you, but that's okay. Things will go smoothly for you now because you won't resent. You're a sentient being. A miracle, and miracles shall abound. Go to nature, talk to source, go to your dreams, decode their messages to find the light. The rejection wound is now healing. Say it is healed. See it as rectified, and it shall be. It is already behind you. You are wind, and you are sea. Follow the voice of your soul. It knows where to go. Be free on your journey and vow to see only the light. Gives me chills reading this. It's so phenomenally beautiful. So this week, how do I put this? I just keep seeing the lone wolf, okay? The lone wolf. But do you think the lone wolf is lonely? No. The lone wolf is doing its own thing. It's taking its own way. It's taking its own path. Okay? And they're showing me this lone wolf being kind of ferocious, kind of snapping and baring its teeth. And this is what's so interesting is we had this theme come in last week where it's like, why are you so suspicious of others? Why have you got your guards up? And we're learning to take those guards down. But they're also showing me how the lone wolf's journey is all of our journey because all of us have a specific life that we're here to live. So not everyone's going to understand your unique journey. And even people who say they understand, they can only understand to a certain capacity because they're not living your experience. So it's really cool because we're finding this equilibrium and there's so much energy about balance and harmony happening. I can't even tell you. So much is coming to balance the scales the past few weeks and this week as well. And we're finding this balance between loneliness and community and learning when we have to go our own way and when we need to rely on others. And it's really beautiful because we're bringing peace to this confusion in our lives. We're bringing peace to the heart. The heart has been so weighed down, and the heart chakra is going to be in huge focus the next while, cleansing and purging and releasing the grief and the hurts that we've endured, especially when it comes to others. But now they're showing me this amazing reconciliation of where we felt so alone and changing that perspective. Because once again, it's like, well, maybe I was alone for a reason. Okay. And once again, it's like rejection is protection. Okay. Always remember that. Always remember that. And then moving into this next realization, which is maybe I'm meant to take my own path. Maybe I'm not supposed to take the same path as everyone else. And that will make me sometimes feel misunderstood. But that doesn't need to mean that I am anything less. Okay? Doesn't mean I'm less worthy. Doesn't mean I'm weird. Doesn't mean I'm this, that, or the other. It just means I'm me. And this is the soul journey I decided to take. So we're learning to release the sting of loneliness, the sting of feeling alone in the journey, and realizing this is empowering. You can go your own way. And it doesn't need to be lonely. You can fill your cup. You don't need necessarily everybody to join you on that path. So that's what's so empowering is we're coming to the celebration of our loneliness. We're starting to enjoy our time alone. We're starting to look at our lone journey with a whole new perspective. I'm meant to take my own way. And what's so beautiful is you're never really alone, because it's like, go to nature, go to source, go to your dreams. See how all of these things are reaffirming to you the universe is right there. You are part of the one. You are never alone. Right? So remind yourself of this week. If you're like, man, I just feel so alone in my path, go to source. Talk to source. Get the comfort and love you need and clear yourself of this wound that you're alone. You're not alone. You're just going your own way. You're going your own path. And no, not everyone's going to understand it. But can you be okay with that? Because they're showing me once you are at peace with yourself and you're at peace with your journey and you recognize, hey, I'm going to be misunderstood. People aren't going to get it. You know, maybe there's only going to be a very few people who will. Maybe in your entire lifetime. Can you make peace with that? Okay, because you are a very special individual. And that's what they want us to realize. Not everybody is here to be a light worker. Not everybody is you. No one is you. So how can you start looking at this as a beautiful thing? And remember, all the people in history who were huge catalysts for the world's evolution, a lot of them were not understood, celebrated, or even acknowledged in their lifetime. So you might be light years ahead. You might be so far ahead, people are like, you are the weirdest person I've ever met. But you're like, I know I'm not crazy, you know? So they're just giving this example for you to think about this week, because it's like, maybe people are going to think you're weird. Maybe people think you're crazy. Maybe people are going to say, you know what, we just don't understand you. You're so different. Well, maybe you're just ahead of the time. And how can you stop comparing yourself and going, well, that makes me wrong. That makes me alone, right? No, that makes me me. That makes me light years ahead. That makes me an entire pure light of love that I'm here to emulate in my unique way. And the empowerment, woo, that pops right in. That's like, whoop, dropping into the energy. Wow. You're saying there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. You're right where you're meant to be. How can you have confidence in that? Imagine being Christ. Imagine being Jesus. Okay, you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to deal with all these imperfect people. They don't understand. Probably was hard being Jesus, but he was so unconditionally loving. He didn't let that hold him back. He probably had every opportunity to be like, I'm going to walk away, whatever. But no, he was so himself. He stood up for what was right. He emulated unconditional love no matter who was there. And he had a very clear understanding that not everyone was going to follow him. Not everyone was going to follow his path. But the few people who did, life-changing, right? So that's just one example. Think of all these beautiful people who've been here on the earth and made a huge impact, and maybe they never even knew until they were on the other side how that was going to implement the future, how that implemented people's lives. So yes, maybe you feel alone, but you're not. You're here with a great destiny. You're here with so much power, the power to make a difference, the power to spread love. Are you willing? Are you willing to be that change you need to see in the world? And maybe you won't see it in your lifetime, but can you still be it? Can you still do it? That is what's being asked of you. And you're so strong. You're strong enough to do this work. You're strong enough that it's okay if you do it alone. And you're going to love it because you can. You don't have to make your life drudgery. You don't have to put division in your life. Go, well, I'm different. They're different. They don't understand me. No. Stop putting building blocks between you and love. Can you be love right where you are? Can you be love with who you are? Right here, right now? So this is what we're healing. We're healing this wound of rejection. We're healing this wound of persecution, of judgment. And we're learning to go our own way with such strength and such acceptance of our path and so much love for ourselves that none of it matters anymore. None of the pain matters anymore. We don't even have pain anymore because we don't take it personally if someone doesn't get it. If someone doesn't see it. If someone doesn't appreciate you and what you're doing. Because you're like, well, you might not get it, but I do. You might not understand me, but I understand me. You might not approve of what I'm doing, but I approve of what I'm doing. So approve of yourself. Every single day say, I approve of myself. I approve of what I'm doing. I approve of my actions. I align with love and what is best for me. And this is where this lone wolf comes in and it's baring its teeth because it's like, come at me because I'm ready. I'm ready to defend myself because I know what is right for me. So stand tall, stand proud in who you are in your journey. And don't take on this pain of rejection anymore. It's time to let it go. So this is the wound that is healing now. Say it is healed. See it as rectified, and it shall be. How powerful is this? Once again, it's this repetition of the mind. It's this repetition of what we say to ourselves every single day. Do we constantly on repeat keep confirming the story? We're not enough. We're not going to fit in. We are rejected. We'll never be accepted. Or how can we reverse the story? Right? How can we shift the perspective? This is already healed. It's already done. because you've made the decision. I'm not going to be in pain anymore. I'm not going to keep living a lie anymore. I'm not going to keep my focus on this anymore. I'm not going to keep picking the scab because I deserve more. I deserve better. I know I'm enough. I know I am worthy and deserving. I know who I am. Claim it, own it, believe it, and it will be done because you've made the decision and you've closed the door. And that's what's so cool is they're showing me the energy body in this little door that's been open where it's like the pain comes in and we're letting it in. Someone says something and we let that come in and we're like, ow, that hurts. And we close the door on it and we keep it in us. They're like, no, close that door. Don't leave any door open to pain anymore. Don't leave any door open for rejection anymore. Don't even entertain it for a minute. Close that door. It's not welcome here. Make that conscious choice this week. I'm closing the door to pain. I am not allowing it into my fields. I am not entertaining any of this anymore because I don't want a life that's full of long suffering. I want a life that's free. How beautiful is this? And I love this so much. You are the wind and you are the sea. Well, what is the wind? The wind is free. The wind is an unstoppable force. What is the sea? It is wild. It is reckless. It is deep. It is beautiful. It is untamed. No one can tame the sea. Are you the wind? Are you the sea? Can you be? Absolutely, you can. You are. You just forgot. So follow the voice of your soul. It knows where to go. And isn't this so beautiful? Through all this fog, through all this confusion, through all the darkness of our path, we go back to our soul. We come back to ourselves. We find ourselves again. And it's like, oh, there I am. I forgot. I forgot who I was. I forgot how powerful I am. I forgot the beauty of my heart, the wisdom of my soul, of what exists within my human body. I got so caught up in the 3D, but now I'm ready to tear that away. I'm ready to exchange it for enlightenment. I am ready to see truth. I'm ready to go back to myself. So be free on your journey and vow to see only the light. How beautiful. How beautiful is this? So we end this week with this recognition of ourselves, this ownership, this profound leadership. Wow, I can do anything. I can be anything. And I want to be myself, no matter what. No matter if people persecute me, no matter if people don't approve, no matter what. I'm going to be me. And it's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be me. So I'm going to be grateful for it. I'm going to be grateful for this life. I'm going to be grateful for the breath in my lungs. And I'm ready to spread my wings and fly. So friends, that's all I have for this reading. Wow. Hope you could feel that amazing energy that has been coming through this reading today. So powerful and such a beautiful reminder for us. We're not alone. We can do this. We're so empowered. And if you need that reminder, reach out. I'd love to connect with you. If you want to connect with your guides more fully, if you want a Reiki session, if you need some clearing, if you need help holding yourself and your wounds. If you need help feeling that love, know my door is always open. Sending you all so much love and light. Have a beautiful week, my friends. Bye-bye.